Join me in welcoming Dr. Michael Warner. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm great, Steve. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Absolutely. So glad to have you here with us today. First off, tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Again, my name is Dr. Michael Warner. I am uh, a government employee. I am a retired military member, and I am a father. I wear many different hats in my life, and I try to utilize experiences from all of them to just be the best I can in each one.
And your book is called Foresight is 2020, 8 Strategies for Success to Overcome Obstacles. Give us an idea what led you to the idea of writing the book.
So, a lot of my education and my previous work, both in the military, and in my profession, is on transitional learning, right? I'm a education specialist, trainer, instructor by trade in numerous aspects. Like I said, I've done it in all my professional platforms. And a lot of my focus has been on transitional learning, the different items for, stimulating learning in different pieces of your life. So when I was completing my doctorate degree, I put together this transitional learning process with all these different strategies that kind of build on each other to help us kind of navigate those different obstacles and barriers that we encounter as we move through the different pieces of, both professional and personal life. The title of the book, Foresight is 2020, comes from the mindset that, we all wish we could see what was going to happen in the future so we can kind of adjust and kind of address it in whatever way is beneficial. So it would be nice if, we could see those things ahead of time instead of, playing that Monday morning quarterback and seeing it after the fact. So that's a lot of the premise for how the book was created. But again, it was not looked at in a way of just, presenting information and kind of saying, okay, here's these different strategies, go ahead and utilize them. I wanted it to have a personal attaché or a feel with it as well, in the sense of making sure that they were relatable situations that people could kind of put themselves in and see how these different strategies could benefit them in all aspects of life. So the book is a combination of both personal and professional, different situations where you can utilize these strategies and see how they can be beneficial.
Oh, I totally love that. So there's 8 of the different strategies. Um, is this where did you come up with all 8 of them? Is it just based in, experience, or did you spend some time researching, or how did you decide on the 8?
Yeah, absolutely, Stephen. Thank you for asking that question, because when I was completing my doctorate degree, a lot of the prep work getting up to the point of the dissertation and capstone piece where you kind of close things out. A lot of my focus, it was on performance improvement, right? So different ways that we can not only see our own potential, but how that potential can be utilized so we are addressing the different manageable steps in life, to the best of our ability. So as I was going through the program and kind of the years of putting it all together and going through the different pieces of it, I did a lot of research on systems thinking, grounded theory, different pieces of how we all work within a process, and the most effective ways to kind of build that process by attacking each one of these manageable steps in a different way, and when we utilize, that transitional learning platform, which, we created this formula for it. It takes different aspects of system learning and strategic thinking, which a lot of us, in the military utilize when we, kind of develop courses of action and all of that. And I did a lot of research on these different pieces and kind of pulled out, the different ideas that would make up this, transitional learning process, that we'd be able to kind of build on these strategies. You can come back to them if needed, but, each one of them kind of builds on each other. It pushes us to the next point of the process, because the idea behind this transitional learning process, or even the creation of this book, is we got to trust our own process, right? Each one of us is an individual. We individually have a process that works best for us. that helps us kind of utilize and impact to the best of our ability. And we have to trust in that process. And it's all about just building that process that best suits ourselves. So that's where a lot of the research came from, in utilizing the different pieces of strategic thinking, systems thinking, planning, all of this, and we kind of put it all together.
I absolutely love that. So, unfair question of the day, much like asking you which of your children is your favorite, which I won't ask you. That would be really unfair. But of the 8 strategies, which one is your favorite?
So the one that I find is most beneficial, again, all 8 of them are so impactful. And it really is a difficult question, Steve, because I love about this process is not only can you apply it to any situation within life, so both personal and professional situations, because it really does help just expand those different barriers and move through those different obstacles. But the initial stage of relating to new information, right? In the sense of like gaining new information and deciding what we want to do with that new information, right? So we all kind of approach barriers and obstacles in different ways. And every single person in society, right, we all approach barriers and obstacles, right? Every day we're attacking different barriers and obstacles. And it could be something as simple as, what should I have for breakfast? Or something as simple as, should I sign this $1 million contract or something, right? There's all these different things and levels that we can do. But this new information that we get, that we're hitting, this barrier obstacle at, we have to make a decision on what we're going to do with that, right? And that's going to kind of drive how the process goes, right? Because as I say in the book, and I go through a lot of different pieces with it, in the sense of, in most transitions in life, we hit a road, right? And we can make a decision on which direction we want to go in that road, right? And sometimes it really is as simple as we go this way or we go that way, right? That is the initial kind of start point to it, right? So when we're gaining this new information, right, and what we do in that first step of the process is we're going to make a decision on what do we want to do with this information. Do we want to push through this barrier or do we want to not, right? And that really kind of sets the tone for getting from start to finish in the process.
Now, do you have work that you do with individuals outside of your government job to help them be able to navigate and use these strategies in their life?
So, and I will, full transparency with the book, right? This was a personal accomplishment, something that on my last deployment with the military before retirement, I set out to do because I had the time to do it. And I said, you know what, I really want to write this book. I want to put this on paper, show how this process can really be beneficial to, personal and professional situations. So after writing the book, we did create a consulting company in the sense of like dealing with stimulation of training and learning. And the hope is that we can utilize the different pieces of this strategy, build action plans to help not only organizations, but individuals kind of push through these different barriers. So we do some research, some interaction with different companies, and also looking to do some veteran outreach pieces with transitions. There's so much that can be done with utilizing the content from how this was all created. So the sky's the limit, Steve,
Absolutely love that. All right. Well, if somebody wanted to interact with you, is there a way that they can connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and thank you for asking that, Steve. We do have a book page for our Foresight 2020 book. My email is michael@summitperformancesolutionsllc.com. It is on the book page as well. It is the best way to get in touch with me if you have any questions regarding the book or anything else that we can do in regards to transitional learning and kind of building those different pieces for consultancy and development. And that is the best way to get in touch with us.
Absolutely love that. Well, before I let you go, give us some words of encouragement about how the past doesn't have to equal our future, but it could help us have a better future.
Absolutely, right? Just from personal experiences, again, I spent 24 years in the military. There was so many situations that I came into where, we have to learn by fire, and as they say, so you don't really know the outcome, but you don't know the best process to get there, right? So what I can say is we all have potential. We all have different potential. We all have the ability to push through barriers, to push through, these different obstacles in life. But we have a choice, right? We can make the choice to be as effective and impactful in that process as we want. And by utilizing the different resources, tools, strategies, whatever you want to call it, that we have in life, to be able to do that internally is just going to help us push through that. So, what I tell a lot of people is trust yourself, trust in the process, believe in yourself, and understand that the true potential is inside of you to get from, to address that gap and push through it.
Absolutely love that. Again, the book is called Foresight is 2020, 8 Strategies for Success to Overcome Obstacles by Michael Warner, ED.D, Dr. Michael Warner. Michael, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the show today.
Thank you, Steve, so much. I really appreciate it.
If it'll let us end here. Well, Michael, if you want to go ahead and just leave the room, we may just have to just close out that way because it's not letting me get to the end button.
Yeah, I will do that right now.
The joys of live.